Alright, this is Andrew with Joda Home Inspections. We are doing a sewer scope today here in Salt Lake City. Today is June 4th, 2025. And we're at 2655 Hiawatha Circle. We have the camera pushed out 154 feet to the city connection. So it's a pretty long line, but I'm happy that we were able to reach the end of the line. Sometimes on longer lines it gets hard to push out, but this one we made it without an issue. Now that first connection point is called the nose on. That's where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. Looked like a good connection there. This is clay pipe. Real common for this age, real common in this area. And one issue with clay, let's say one characteristic, is that you have a lot more joints. And so you'll have joints every 3 or 4 feet. So more areas where roots could potentially come in. So far it's looking clean. I'm also not seeing any standing water that would indicate improper grade. Little tiny lip on that first joint right there, where you have a little bit of a shoulder showing on the pipe. That's a spot where waste could potentially get stuck and create a blockage. That one's on the more minor side. I more pointed out as an example so that if we find another, you know what I'm talking about and what I'm looking for. You never want to have too bad of an offset because waste can get stuck, and the bigger the offset is, the more likely it is for waste to collect on it. I'm not seeing any standing water that would indicate improper grade. Another little offset there. I'm accessing this line through a clean out in the basement mechanical room. That's an access point. So somewhere outside there's another spot to access the line. I didn't see a spot. A lot of times they're cut off and buried, but you can have those located so that you can access it in the future if you needed to. Since it is an original line, I would recommend that you get sewer line protection. You can get that through homeowners insurance companies. Real common in Utah and Salt Lake is to get home serve, and they will help unclog the line if you get roots or a blockage. They can help put money towards a repair or replacement. It's very inexpensive. I would definitely recommend home serve. Looks like we're still going through clay from what I can tell. And one note about this offset is that it's causing it to hold a little bit of water. Just a little splash, but just like that water's getting stuck, waste is also going to hit that spot. And also when you have it holding water like that, because of the offset, grease can settle there, and once it gets greasy it'll get sticky, and then waste can get stuck on it even easier. I'd still consider that one to be on the more minor side. Never ideal, but far from the worst that I've seen. Alright, now we're transitioning to cast iron. So it looks like this next 50 feet is probably going to be cast. As you can see, cast iron gets real rough and rusty. It will eventually need to be replaced. And this is what's underneath the basement slab. You might have a little bit of plastic, but looks like you have a lot of cast. And so this is real hard to get to. Real common to have cast iron under the house and clay in the yard. I mean, better than having cast iron going all the way out, but when when it is time to replace it, you're opening up the basement slab, which is a little difficult. I would recommend having this line coated, and that's where they clean it with a chain. It's a carbide tip chain, and that cuts off all that scale. It's also called descaling the line. And that way it's smoother so that waste isn't getting stuck. Like as an example here, looks like you have some, well, that could be efflorescence, which is a mineral deposit, but it also could be pieces of toilet paper collecting. Now we're transitioning to ABS. So this last, 3 feet is ABS, which is plastic. So just to recap, you have a mix of a little bit of plastic, a fair amount of cast iron, and a lot of clay. Couple offsets where the pipes have slipped a little bit, but not incredibly, not too significant in size. I would say these ones are on the more minor to moderate size. I would definitely recommend getting the insurance through HomeServe, and I would also recommend getting the line cleaned so that they can clean off all that buildup on the cast iron. They can also look at it and evaluate it better once it's been cleaned, which is helpful. I'm going to end this recording now.